Okay, go.
Hi everyone. I want to welcome you to preschool in the middle of a pandemic. So as you can see already things are a little different. I'm wearing a mask. I'm not going to wear it the whole time so you can hear me. But you will see teachers wearing masks. And you may have seen in your packet that we are asking that your students have a mask available for us in the building so that at any time that we feel like they cannot social distance appropriately, or if we're doing an activity that we have concerns that they are not apart enough, we ask that you have one so that they could put that on during their time, okay? So yes, staff will be wearing masks, and we will be asking for your students to have one also. So today, I just want to go through some important things that you need to know to have a successful preschool year. And I'm going to reference our parent-student handbook that you should have received in an email. It will look like this. It says Our Hope Lutheran Preschool 2020-2021. So we've made lots of changes, for the school year. And so I just want to share some of those things with you. The first few pages is just information for you to know how you can reach the school. Our fax number's in there, so anytime you need to fax immunization records, birth certificate, anything like that, you are always welcome to do so. Please do that. In here under our general classroom information and policies, mainly, I just want to remind you that if your child is not going to be at school that day, we do ask that you give us a phone call. I always have concerns that at some point they were dropped off at the building and now they're hiding in the bathroom, so I like to know who is supposed to be in the building and who is not. And it will also help us track any illnesses that we might have this year. So we do appreciate a phone call. Our phone number is listed several times in this manual so that you can find it. We do progress reports with all of our students, so I just want to remind you too that in February we will still be scheduling progress reports with our 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Our 1 and 2-year-olds, we just do a report card that we send home, and you're welcome to give a phone call if you have any questions. We will be utilizing Sign Up Genius in many ways this year, so I know a lot of you got that link to sign up for your open house. Just know that you will get that again. So once you sign up for an account, and if you've already have an account, that's great. Be expecting some Sign Up Geniuses through your email, and that'll be one way in which we'll sign up for parent-teacher conferences this year. Some other things just to talk on. We do have a challenging behaviors and biting policy that we have updated this year. So, we work really hard with all of our students, whatever their behaviors, to keep them enrolled in our program. We will work through a lot of things with you, and we want you to know that we're here to support you. And there may be times that we ask you to help support us. So please, be sure to read through all that. Just know that this year we're utilizing emails as much as possible. 1, to cut down on paper usage, and 2, just to cut down on any chance of transmission of us sending home things to you and you sending things home to us. So we will be emailing much of our information. Teachers will be sending out newsletters, most likely largely through email, unless you request a paper copy. So we will send weekly newsletters from the classrooms, plus I will send home monthly newsletters, and any other time that you need information, we will do so. We have some things that we ask that you do not allow your children to please bring to school, and one of those are toys. So if they're trying to bring toys to school, tell them no, that's not allowed. We will confiscate them as they come into the building. 1, we found it causes great problems. 2, it usually gets broken or lost, and then we have very sad students. So we ask for your help in making sure that there's no electronics that come in, no games, no toys, no extra Matchbox cars or anything like this. Be sure to always check their pockets or their backpacks before. Also, just on a side note, if you should find you're missing your phone or something, you might want to check with us. We have found that occasionally they have taken contraband from you to show their friends, and we have found it here at the school. So we've had things like lipsticks brought in, and phones and wallets brought in over the years. This year we will not be having any field trips where we leave the premises due to COVID. We will try to get visitors to come in with us as much as possible if it's feasible, but we will not be going anywhere this year to the pumpkin patch or the fire station. We have included in your packet your list of school supplies that we need. This year we've changed things up a little bit. We are asking that lunches are brought in a brown paper sack, and we're also asking you to donate a shoebox, a plastic shoebox, so that we can use it to individualize more of the children's learning opportunities to avoid cross-contamination of the virus. So lunch, so yes, lunches this year. We are asking that instead of a normal lunch box that everybody either uses like Walmart bags, paper sacks, I think there's a Ziploc bag hanging back there. All of our lunches do go in a refrigerator, so you do not have to worry about ice packs or anything like that. Just make sure their name's clearly written on there. It also helps if you write your child's color name or shape name on their package this year, because we're trying really hard to avoid, again, cross-contaminations. Paper is less likely to hold the virus versus plastic. So this way it can also be thrown away at the end, and we don't send home any germs from the school too. So please try to send everything that you can in disposable silverware. We'll send home drink bottles or anything like that. But as much as we could just keep here and throw away, we very much appreciate this school year. All right, so some other general information and policies, just so you know. Please make sure we always have an update phone number, an updated address, and an updated email, especially this year. We have had many occasions where we go to call a parent trying to locate them for a reason, and we don't have your newest cell phone number or work number. So please make sure if any of those things changes that you let us know immediately. Some of you may have special custodial agreements or court orders in regards to your children. We also ask that you please let us know about that. We're not really trying to be all up in your business, but it really helps us if there should be a situation that would occur at the school, that we would have that information to share if a police officer or so forth had to intercede. We are doing fundraising this year. Our first fundraiser will be Friday, September 11th. So it'll be next Friday, right after the first week of school. We would love it if you would join us. We are having a drive-through fish fry. You will be receiving more information. So we're going to be frying fish and French fries and other goodies out in the parking lot and packing it up and sending it home to go. So if you need supper Friday night, just drive on up. You don't have to get out of your car. We'll take your order, load you up, and send you home to eat. So hopefully you'll join us Friday, September 11th. And we'll have some other things throughout the year. For those of you, in case you have not signed up for this, we do offer care before school and care after school. So if you need care before 8 a.m. in the morning and you need care after 3:30 in the afternoon, you need to make sure that you have signed up for our aftercare program. When you come to open house or that first week, or you can call us and let us know if that's something you need. We are open at 6:30 in the morning and we close at 6 p.m. There are additional fees that are associated with that program. We do have a lost and found. We have all kinds of things in our lost and found, from shoes to underwear to backpacks to toys. So if you're missing something, call us and let us know and we'll check it out for you, okay? So please make sure you check with that. Payment of tuition, you should have gotten information about our Smart Tuition program if you're a monthly payer. If you're on a weekly fee schedule, you will pay us directly at the office. You will be allowed to stop in at the office to make those payments, or you may send a check in with your student. We are able to take credit card payments. So if you have any question because of that, make sure in this area, both in our COVID manual and in this book, there is an explanation about what would happen for fees in the event of COVID-19 cancellations. There is a chance that at any one time we may have to close a room down for a few days for disinfection and possibly quarantine your students. So there is more information about that. And if those situations occur, we will, of course, immediately send information again to remind you about that. There's information about the mask wearing. Yes, your students need a mask. We would love it if it were labeled so that we know who gets what mask at the end of the day. Also, if you provide a lanyard for them, we'll attach it to a lanyard and we can be worn that way. Every morning when you come, I will talk to you about Carline here in a minute and how that procedure will be a little different this year. But we are taking everybody's. We have a digital thermometers. So when you arrive in the morning, temperature checks are taken. At lunchtime, if you're all-day students, temperature check is taken. It's taken again at 3:30 when they go to the after-school care program. So if they're here most of the day, they're going to get their temperature checked at least 2 times and possibly 3 times during the day. If your child's temperature is 100 or above, we will wait 15 minutes, take it again to confirm that it is still that temperature, and if it is, you will be notified immediately that you must come and get your child. We are requiring that your child is picked up within 60 minutes, or you have someone designated to come get them, all right? Or this could affect your continued enrollment. We're trying very hard to keep everybody safe, try to limit any contamination and the closure of school to the best of our abilities, all right? So don't forget, you also received the COVID-19 Manual explaining our operating procedures, and I was going to see if I have one on here. It's all white, but it says COVID-19 Manual. Oh, there it is. It looks like this, COVID-19 Policy and Procedure Manuals. You should have received that in one of your emails also. Please make sure you've read that so that you understand how we will be proceeding through the school year and the steps that we have taken to keep the children safe and to limit possible contamination, limit exposure, and hopefully not have to cancel any school for anybody throughout the school year. That is our number one goal this year, is to keep everybody healthy and to keep the school open. That is our big goal. And hopefully we'll make it with everyone's help, okay? We need your help with that. If you have any problems, please know that you are always welcome to reach out to me. I would love to talk with you about anything. You can email me at our school email. You'll get information about my private email, and your teachers usually have information for you too. We do fire drills and tornado drills with our kids. I'm sure you will hear about the first one. Some of them do not like the terribly loud noise of the fire drill. And we'll be talking through that with them and also performing them with them. Notice security. If you ever try to get in the building, you will need to be buzzed in. This year, parents are not allowed into the building except for extreme circumstances or if you have made an appointment to do so. It is not because we don't want you in here seeing what's going on. We are truly just trying to limit any chance of cross-contamination and people bringing the virus into the building so that we can better control things. And I will explain to you, I promise here when we talk about drop-off, how we're going to handle the first few weeks of school and drop-off and parents entering the building. Know that we occasionally do have snow days and delay days. When we have those, you will find that on our school Facebook page. I encourage you to like us at Our Hope Lutheran. And then also your teachers will usually have a Facebook page that they'll post those. You can also find that information on the TV and the radio stations under Our Hope Lutheran. So we normally do our own call for the weather, but we try really hard to follow Northwest Allen County Schools. But in case Northwest Allen is not in session at any one point or time, we may make our own calls. All right, so in the mornings, we have our drop-off pickup line. And here's a little bit better visual of it. When you come to open house, you are going to get a hang tag with your student's name on it. We ask that that is always prominently displayed in your car when you pick up. And I would love it too, actually, for the first few weeks, if you put it up for drop-off. That helps give me a visual clue of what child is in the car, and I can get to know them much quicker that way. So for this year, we are asking that everybody utilize the drop-off if you are here for the 8 a.m. drop-off, So from 8 to 8:20, you may use our drop-off line. You will enter into our parking lot. You will come up here to the corner, hug the sidewalk, come up here to the awnings of our door, pull up as far as you can, past the door preferably, and we will get your child out of the car. Now, while we are doing this whole car line thing, we are going to be coming along, performing a temperature check on your student, and we will be asking you 4 health questions. We ask that you answer these honestly, because we will use that information to determine whether or not your child may stay for school. we're doing this in hopes, again, to track a baseline for your students so that if ever their temperature rises, we have an idea of what's going on. We plan at this point to ask you this every day, and yes, the questions will be repetitive every day, but we will ask them nonetheless. Eventually, we hope to just ask this on Monday or Tuesdays, and then just check with you to see if anything has changed since your response on Monday or Tuesday. So, in all of this, you need to prepare for extra time, especially for the first month, because it's going to take a little while to get everybody into the routine, get everybody into the habit of the temperature checks and the question policy that we will be following. That will greatly enlarge our time that it's going to take to get everybody in and out on car line time, especially on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Now, I know a lot of you are really nervous about dropping your children off those first few days. So for the first 2 weeks of school, we will allow parents in to take their children down to their classrooms. But there is 2 situations that you must adhere to. 1, we will only be allowing a limited number of parents at a time into the building. So please understand, if there's 20 of you who arrive at 8 a.m., I'm only going to be able to allow 1 child per classroom in at a time. You will be allowed to walk down the hall. You will not be allowed to enter into the classroom with your student. You will have to say your goodbyes at the doorway, give your love, and then our teachers will usher them into the room. I know there's going to be tears, and I understand there's going to be a lot of uncomfortable moments, but everyone's going to get through this, and it's always going to come out better a few weeks down the road. I promise. We never have children who cry longer than a week, and we never have parents cry longer than a week either. Everyone's going to get through this. We'll get comfortable with it, and we ask you to please grant us grace and understanding as we try to navigate these unfamiliar waters and try new things this school year to keep everybody healthy. So please understand, after the 2nd week of school, you will not be allowed to bring your child into the building. You may walk them up to the door if you would like, or you may use the car line. I can promise you, if you take a little picture, take a look if Miss Kim will go into here. This is one of our 1-year-olds at the time. Her backpack is as large as she is, but she has walked the entire way down the hallway to get to her teacher. These kids are completely capable of doing amazing things when you're not around. They'll be just fine. It may take them a week to figure it out, but we will have staff encouraging them the whole way through to successfully get to their room each and every day. So if that's going to be a problem, you need to talk with your child about, hey, we're going to be doing this for a few times, and then we're going to be transitioning to using the car line, where Mrs. Pippenger or Miss V or Pastor will get them out and usher them into the building, and the rest of the staff will make sure that they get to their classroom safely, okay? So that is how car line's going to go. You are absolutely more than welcome and highly encouraged, if you have a returning student who's familiar with the routines and knows what's happening, especially after they found their room at open house, please use the car line the first 2 weeks of school. That is great. I have a lot who do, and we're happy. If you want to come up and take pictures at the front of the school for your first day of pictures and then leave them at the door, that's great too. Highly encouraged. We would love that. So you have your choice the first 2 weeks to bring them into the room. Just know you need to allow for extra time that morning, because we cannot let everybody in at one time, all right? And don't be offended also if we encourage you after you've been here not to linger because we have other parents waiting to get in. We will shoo you out, okay? It's not because we don't love you. We just need to get everybody in the building in a quick way. All right, so we do have some dress code issues. Please, 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 please keep your kids in tennis shoes or closed-toed shoes. They're the best for active playing preschoolers. One of our goals this year is to be outside as much as possible and until the snow flies possible, which means they're out running, they're out playing in our mulch, they are out in our new mud kitchen, they are out just running around in the grass, and there's clover out there, so there might be bees out there, and we want to keep those toes safe. So the best thing for them are closed-toed shoes. They make it easier to play games. It makes it easier for them to climb on the play sets. It just makes life easier in general. So we are asking you to please respect from the first day of school on that they are not wearing their cute little sandals or flip-flops or Crocs, but a decent pair of shoes to allow them to play and have a good time safely. Nobody likes the mulch going in their toenails. Trust me, we've had lots and lots of that happen, and it won't be fun. We're also asking that if you have little ladies, it's fine if they wear their dresses, but we strongly encourage you to put shorts on underneath them or a pair of leggings, because most of them have not yet figured out how to sit politely with a dress on at circle time, and we're doing our crisscross applesauce, and some of them just let everything hang out, and their friends are not afraid to say, hey, I see your underwear. Not to mention if they're climbing up our climber, the person underneath them can see right up their dress. And honestly, the swings are cold sometimes, and they've got a cold little tushy and little thighs from sitting on the swing. So leggings, tights, or a pair of shorts underneath their skirts is preferred, please. Also, just always be aware of the weather. It is cold sometimes in the morning, really cold, and we go outside for recess while it's cold, even though it's going to be 80 degrees later in the day. Please, it's helpful if you keep a jacket in their backpack at all time. So if you're the type of family who's running right from the house into a car that's in the garage and you don't know what the temperature is, we're covered. If they're cold, we've got something to make their life happier. So we do ask for your help with that. There's a little bit of information about our curriculum. We do design all our curriculum. A lot of it's play-based learning. We are definitely a kindergarten preparatory program. So our preschool prep 1 and 2 kids are learning how to be in preschool, and our 3, 4, and 5-year-olds are learning what it means to be in kindergarten. So we do seat work. We teach them to walk down the hallways in a proper line. We teach them to raise their hand. We teach them to be responsibility. Everything we do, even down to the 1-year-olds who are walking down the hall with a backpack as big as they are learning responsibility and self-reliance. Always. If you do ever come into the school with your child, we ask that you do not ever carry them when they are at school. We ask that you do not carry their backpack or their lunches or any of those items. It is their job to hang up everything. We want them to know as soon as they walk into any school building, they are responsible for their things and they are capable of doing it. Give them a chance to show you that. Please make sure you take a peek at our school and starting and end times. We ask that everybody is here by 8:15. My morning car line starts at 8 a.m. and we shut the door at 8:20, okay? We dismiss at 11:15 for the half-day program, and we will put your kid into our lunch bunch room at 11:30 if you are late, and there will be charges for that. If you're here all day, we dismiss at 3:15. Car line goes until 3:30 for pickup, and then we'll send them into our Noah's Ark aftercare program if you are late picking up. Make sure you call us if you're going to be late. Again, if you need care before 8 a.m. or if you need care after 3:30 p.m., let us know if you have not signed up for our Noah's Ark program. Our preschool prep students, if you are our full day students, you are allowed to be here from 7 in the morning to 6 o'clock p.m. without any additional charges. If you are a preschool prep half-day student, you will have morning Noah's Ark charges if you are here before 8 a.m. All right, so one of the other things I want to remind you about that's in our packet. So with the pickup, you are going to get those name tags at your open house. They need to be displayed prominently in your windshield. If you have a pair, and sorry, I forgot to show you one, a pair of children's pant hangers or skirt hangers with the little clips, you can clip your tag on it and the hook goes over your rear view mirror, just lovely. So it's a great way for you to do that. You are going to get 2 tags. It will have your student's room color and their name on it. Anyone that you give this tag to for us has implied permission to pick your student up. If you know there's going to be 3 of you consistently picking up, let us know and we will make you another tag. You have a transportation form in that enrollment packet that you were asked to fill out. Make sure you let us know who's allowed to pick up your children. We do adhere to that. You must call us or send us a note if someone different is picking up your child, and we will ask to see their ID. If they have that pickup tag, we are going to take that as this is a person that you have said can pick up your child, okay? You also have an opportunity on there to put if someone's never allowed to. And if there is a legal reason why they're not, again, that's where it's nice to have those court orders or custodial agreement if we have a version of that. You can talk to Lisa or I in the office open house night if that's an issue. All right, so we have a new sickness policy that is included. Make sure you're familiar. The main thing you need to take away with this, we are not being very negotiable on what we deem as illness that needs a child to go home. I know most of you have to work and you have a job and other obligations. So it is very important that you have a backup person assigned to take care of your child in case we have a quarantine situation, in case your child is sick or is showing illness for repeated days. And that could just be because they have a sinus infection, but because a lot of those illnesses mimic COVID, we are most likely going to tell you your child must stay home until they are showing very few symptoms or the symptoms have lessened. So you must have someone to take care of your child, pick up your child if you are unable to take off work. These things are going to happen. There is going to be a chance your room could be quarantined. We cannot predict it. We don't know when to expect it. We're doing everything in our power to prevent it from happening, but I don't want you to be caught off guard. Just the same as if we have snow days, you need to have a plan in place. We do not offer care during snow cancellations. You need to make sure you have someone available to take care of your kids for that. So please be sure you have read our sickness policy. We have medication forms. We are allowed to administer medicine, however, this year. So please listen carefully. They are making it very difficult for us to allow nebulizers in the school. We have very, very strict requirements that involve us wearing full PPE, N95 mask, and so forth, and putting those students in a very isolated environment. That is difficult for us to do on a daily basis. So the CDC and the FSSA are asking you as parents to please try to time your breathing treatments right before school or right after, or if you're able to come during the middle of the day and do it perhaps out in your car or take them home to have it done, that is what we prefer. Or reach out to your doctor and see if there is a handheld inhaler option for them to get through school, because we are just going to be very limited in our ability to give them breathing treatments this year due to the restrictions being placed on us by our governing body, okay? It's not because we don't want to, it's just going to be very difficult for us to this year. So please talk to your doctor about that. Make sure you check up. We are required to have a copy of your child's birth certificate and a child of their most recent immunization form. If you've already given us their immunization forms before, that's great and fine as long as you have not gotten any new since you've given it to us. If they've gotten shots over the summer or this past spring, we need a new copy of their immunization form. If you've already given us their birth certificate, you're good to go. You do not have to give it to us again. But the state does require that we have an updated shot record and your birth certificate for a child for enrollment here. And we do need those by the first day of school. We can make copies for you. And again, check out, make sure you're following us on Facebook. Even if you're not a Facebook person, we ask you to make an account just because it's a great way to get information about what's going on in your class. We try to post things that we know that are coming up. Check out our new website at ourhopelutheran.com. If you have any questions, our email is ourhopeinfo@gmail.com. And check your child's backpack daily. There's always stuff going home. It might be, pajama day. You need to know about that. Find the little note that says about it. You might need to know that your child needs a new change of clothes. Which reminds me, I think there's one sitting right here. Excuse me for a moment. We need a change of clothes for each of your children. I don't care how old they are, we need a change of clothes. Put it in a Ziploc bag, put their name on it, and also make sure it's seasonal. Obviously right now you're thinking, oh, we'll send shorts and a shirt, but come winter, we're gonna need a pair of long pants and a long sleeve shirt. We need underwear and we need socks. A lot of our accidents are not bathroom accidents. They are, I spilt my applesauce all over me at lunch. I dumped the paint water down my shirt because I wasn't maybe following the directions. I went down the slide and there was a water puddle and I didn't listen that the slide had to be dried. So if you don't want interrupted at work, and some of the kids will wear our hand-me-downs and some of them will not, make sure we have a change of clothes brought into school, please. That's very important. All right, so one of the last things I'm going to leave you with is, we go to chapel every week. We will be continuing chapel with Pastor. Probably for part of the year, we will be having chapel with Pastor out in the pavilion. So we're not all contaminating one another. We'll see how we'll proceed for winter. That is unknown at this particular time. We know that this year is very different, especially for those of you returning. There are lots of things that we've just always loved to do every year that we may not get to do this year. We may not get to have our big Christmas program. At this point, I'm going to tell you it's pretty certainly not going to happen. We're hoping the world will be a better place come spring, and that maybe we'll get to have our grandparent and special friend celebration, get to have our open house night, get to have our school picnic, all those fun big group things that we just love to do with you. But because of the constraints of how we've had to do things in our rooms and just the sheer number of you who would be here, it is just not logistically possible or feasible this year. So know it breaks our hearts, and we're sorry. We're trying to adapt and find fun, creative ways so you still get a little bit of that. So we'll be working on that, and we'll be letting you know as each of those situations arise. We're asking you to have grace and forgiveness as we work through some things. We think we've anticipated every probable situation, but we've already learned from being open this summer, nope, we didn't anticipate everything. So there's some things, sometimes gears may get changed and life may be a little different, and we ask all of you to put a smile on your face just like we're going to, and work with us to get through the school year. We are really pumped and excited to have the kids back. We've got lots of new things in place, lots of new faces in the building that we're looking forward to share with you and to get to know your family better. It will be a unique experience for sure, but I know it's going to be a successful and wonderful year. If you're at any time feeling overwhelmed, concerned, or upset about something, please reach out to us, communicate it so we can figure out how to solve that and make everything even better, okay? So I know it's gonna be great. I know all your parents be checking those emails regularly. We're going to do a lot of communicating with you that way. Make sure you're checking your students' backpacks. Bring those school supplies with you to open house, and we look forward to meeting all of you and getting to know all of you. And most especially, we're ready for this new adventure we call preschool. So thanks for joining me, and looking forward to seeing you soon.